Today we are talking eyeshadow palettes. Hi everybody, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be ranking my eyeshadow palettes. I'm going to be sharing with you the eyeshadow palettes I currently have in my collection, and we're going to talk about like my usage goal on them and what I am planning with them. I've talked about them in my project pan, my pan that palette, and I've also talked about them in my makeup inventory video, but I always like to have a dedicated video when it comes to the eyeshadow palettes and kind of share with you where I feel like they fall amongst each other. And it's kind of interesting to see how the ranking of them changes over the years. So if you like eyeshadow palettes, let me know your favorite eyeshadow palette down below. I have a feeling that I'm going to be adding a new eyeshadow palette, maybe two, to my collection this year. And you never know, it might just be the one that you suggested down below. So leave me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe because I have lots of makeup videos coming soon. And let's just get into ranking the eyeshadow palettes that I have in my collection. I have 7 eyeshadow palettes in total in my collection, and I feel like this is the year that I really want to focus on using as much of my eyeshadows as I can. I was watching TikTok videos and I was hearing a lot of YouTubers, TikTokers saying that their eyeshadow palettes are like 10 plus years old, 8 plus years old. And it really got me thinking how old my eyeshadow palettes were, because I actually have some of them that they were talking about. It wasn't until I actually went on a trip and I took an eyeshadow palette with me and I just thought, oh my goodness, I need to like start using it or else it's gonna go bad. So this year I'm really going to focus on using up as much eyeshadow as I can. I have been really wanting to add a new eyeshadow palette or two into my collection for years, but I've really just been focusing on what I have. So this year I might, because I have a lot of bridal events coming up. Like, I'm engaged. This is from my makeup inventory video, so just disregard that. But I'm engaged. I have lots of bridal events coming up. My sister's getting married next year. It's a whole thing. So I might treat myself to a palette. But before that, let's get into number 7, my least favorite out of all my makeup palettes. This one here is the e.l.f. Earth and Ocean, and I'm just gonna say e.l.f. because me saying e.l.f. Earth and Ocean with braces is very annoying. This one here I have had in my collection for, I would want to say 7, maybe 8 years. This is a focus shade in my Project Pan. This is also in my Pan That Palette series, and this one here I really want to finish this shade. There's not a lot of shades in here that I really love. I have been playing around with it a lot more though because of this specific shade. If I were to take out the majority of the blues, it would leave me with a lot of like the greens and golds, and I personally don't like these two. It doesn't leave me with a lot. Not just that, whenever I use this shade, I will always reach into another palette to get a different eyeshadow. And for me to bring this with me on a trip somewhere, now that this shade is almost done, it's useless because there's no other shade in here that I really reach for. There are these two like brown shimmer shades, but they're not as good as other shades that I have in my collection. This one here, my original goal in my Pan That palette was to finish this one and roll that out of my collection, but it might stick around a little longer, and I'm not going to spoil that. I'll update that in my Pan That palette series. But this one is at number 7 solely because it's just not a color scheme that I really reach for anymore. But not just that, I personally find the shadow colors are not as pigmented as other shadows that I have. So yeah, this one here is my least reach for, and like I said, as soon as this brown shade's out, I would have a use for it, and I'm not going to spoil that, but I really, not my favorite. While it's a good palette and I am glad that I had it for so long and I got like a lot of use out of it, compared to the palettes that I have now, it's just not my favorite. I filmed my makeup inventory video. I didn't put any of my makeup away, so everything is everywhere. In the 6th spot, it's going to the It's My Pleasure palette. This is from ColourPop, and I've had this now for 7 or 8 years. And this shade actually fell out earlier today while I was filming my makeup inventory video. This shade's been in my project pan many times. I have a huge dip in it. I use this shade today. Don't get me wrong, I like this palette. It's really pretty. There's purples, there's pinks. I like the eyeshadow look I have today. The only problem with this one is it's more of a spring and summer palette color story, and I don't get to use it as much. The other annoying part is this color completely like fell out onto my carpet and I had to clean it up. The shades are getting older and I can tell that the formula is changing on them a little bit. This is hopefully going to get rolled into my Pan That Palette series eventually. But this one here is in number 6 just because I don't use it as much as the others. It's getting older and it's more of a spring and summer palette. And I know we're going into the spring and summer and I'm excited about that. But spring and summer is not year round and I need something year round. The next palette in spot number 5 is the Going Coconuts by ColourPop. This came down a lot of tears for a couple reasons. The first reason is because it's getting old. Again, it's like 7 or 8 years old at this point, and the formula on this palette is changing. I brought it with me on a trip, and this shade right here is getting to be a pain to use. Along with this one, it is getting so dry. This one's getting really chalky. This palette here, I've used it so much within the 7 to 8 years. I don't know how I haven't hit pan, but it's a beautiful palette and it's such a staple. The problem is the formula is changing. So this is in my Pan That Palette series, and my goal on it is to completely use up 2 shades, and then I want to play around with this white one, see if I can mix it in with a moisturizer for like a body glow. But then I would have 3 shades like completely done of this palette, and then I could declutter it. The thing with this palette is it's so old that I wouldn't want to pass it along to like one of my sisters because of how the formula is changing. One of my reasons why I'm really focusing on this one is because the formulas in here are still okay and good enough where I'd feel comfortable cleaning it up and passing it on to like one of my sisters. But these ones, like the ColourPop ones, I think that they are on their last legs, like these two. So these ones here are definitely lower for that reason. Okay, number 4. This is in the number 4 spot solely because of the red. This color right here. I really wish that they would have put a brown or black or something more everyday appropriate. This color is beautiful. This one's beautiful. This one is going to be a little bit hard to use. I honestly think that when I go to use this like completely, I might try and use the red as like a blush. I don't know. I just feel like on the eyes, sometimes it's like this color right here. So it's a little much sometimes, and I do kind of wish with how beautiful this color is. Why are all of my eyeshadows just crumbling? Look, it's just crumbling. Anyway, here's the shimmer shade, here's the beautiful lighter shade, and here's that darker shade. So I just wish that the red was switched for a lighter red or maybe a brown or black or something. This is number 4 in my categories. I also love those shadows. Every time I wear them, I absolutely love the makeup look I get. And just seeing the 2 like pretty colors side by side, I just want to use them. In the 3rd place is my Morphe eyeshadow. My sister picked this up for me, I would want to say maybe 4 years ago, something like that. It's not overly old and I have used it quite a bit, but again, it doesn't seem like I've used it a lot, but I actually have played around with it a lot. So these are the shades in here. Every single time I do my makeup, people compliment me on the eyeshadow, which makes me want to pick up another one like this. I like the size of the palette. I love how I could just take this with me on a trip and it would feel complete. I really like it. So anyway, this one here is in 3rd place because the packaging is really nice on it. It's not overly bulky. The color schemes on it are nice. I like the size of the pan. And I mean, people compliment me on the eyeshadow every time I wear it. So why wouldn't it be in the top 3? Okay, number 2 has to go to the Urban Decay Naked Wild West. I love this. I would want to bring this with me everywhere I go when I travel because the packaging, you have a mirror, because you have your spot for one brush. You have neutrals, shimmers, darker mattes. Like, it has almost everything I would need in here to travel with. The only reason why I don't is because I bring my older ones. So if something happened, then it wouldn't be this one, because if I lost it, I'd probably be sad. So anyway, this is my second favorite. But anyway, this one here, I absolutely love it. I would love to get another Urban Decay palette, but I really, really like this. The only colors I don't use out of here would be like blues, but love it. And in the last place, my favorite one, which I think it's been my favorite since I've purchased it, is the Tati Beauty palette. Now this one is getting really old, and I think that once I finish some of my other palettes, I might just put this one away. Like, I'll keep it, but I might put it away as like a keepsake thing. But look at this palette. Oh, I love it. If she ever came out with this again, I would repurchase it, like the same one. I would repurchase it. I love it. Every time I pull this out, I feel like I'm pulling out a painting set. I feel like I'm an artist. I feel so inspired and created to just play around with it. I have hit pan on the pressed glitters because I would use them on my nails, and I love this palette. Like, I love it so much. And I know it's older, and I know a lot of people would probably say, like, how do you still use this on your eyes? The thing is with me is with eyeshadow, if it were to irritate my eyes, I would declutter the palette, and that's kind of what was happening with the Too Faced palette. I worked on a shade for years and years and years and years. I finally finished that shade, and the palette itself was like scented, and it was irritating my eyes. So because I finished the shade and the other shades were not my tone, were not my favorite formula, I didn't like it, I decluttered it. But this hasn't irritated my eyes yet. So if something were to happen, like the formula started changing or it started to irritate my eyes, I would for sure not declutter it. I would want to like put it away and keep it. As of right now, it's still like in use in my collection, but I could see this palette being one that I clean up, I tuck away, and I kind of start fresh with new palettes. And that's kind of what I want my eyeshadow palette collection to get to. I really want to start using up my older ones so that I can start bringing in new ones. And when I do buy new eyeshadow palettes, I need to keep in mind that in order for me to justify spending the money, I need to be able to actually use the palette. So here's number one. So let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite eyeshadow palette? Or let me know if you have any of these eyeshadow palettes in your collection. Don't forget to subscribe because I have lots of other makeup videos coming. I have an update for my project pan. I have an update for that Pan That palette. That's where we're going to talk about more of the e.l.f. palette and talk about more of the Going Coconuts palette. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.